What is going on, guys? We're here for another Football Manager year. You know, we've been around just for a little while and it all starts again. Manchester United. Hey, last few years, this is probably the best time to be starting one with OLE. Man United this year, I think the squad's there very strong. You know, Ronaldo's come back and we'll go through a few of the new early things. I've already just copied over the kits, player profiles, like the player photos, because you know, Football Manager, you don't get photos from a lot of teams. There's some like in the lower leagues and stuff like that, but in terms of the clubs, like with badges and whatnot. So yeah, that's why like there's the kits from last season, but of course it won't be long. The people who make these are going to make updated versions, so do keep that in mind. And one thing I'm already noticing, you can see like the minimum and maximum. We'll know that, when we join up as Manchester United manager, of course. But we'll take a look. And so you guys know what I am playing this on, if we go over to the preferences right now, I'm playing zoomed in on 110% just for like the videos and that, just a little bit more zoomed in. And hopefully that's all good. And in terms of the game, like the color scheme for this year, I'm going to keep my like profile border like on my like face cam in the bottom right because it still suits for this year. So that's perfect. Because actually Manchester United don't have the real name in the game. So we needed to fix that along with like, competitions like UEFA Champions League and all that. Actually, some logos are still updating because it's so many files. So when the Premier League logos were going, when they're on, I was just happy to start recording this right now. But the competition logos are probably towards the end of the file. It's pretty good to progress for now though. Let's head into the managerial style. Generally, suggest experience based on Manchester United, makes it fair enough. So you're this level. You're a manager, you're not going to be training your keepers. To be honest, I wouldn't even want it on 1. I'd put 0 if you could. And that gives you plenty to work with there and get really strong. Even working with youngsters, increase it. And we'll show you this. So we changed it a bit there. And I even thought fitness. We got fitness coaches, but make it a bit leveled and end on it like that. Not too bad. Even, the focus I just put on default. If you plan just doing one team, you could probably just drop it to 1, but I don't like doing that. I'll do it like a 4 where it's still relatively low, because sometimes in Football Manager, I think things have a major thing, like something like that, like mental attributes. There's a major thing that it impacts, which is finding employment in a foreign league. But I really don't like having too low of an attribute, maybe apart from goalkeeping. So that's what we're going to roll with. Then we can get up motivating because your team talks can be very efficient. Level of discipline as well. I like this. I like to make that a bit higher. Like basically, minimize players complaining, which can happen a lot in Football Manager. We know that. The player knowledge, I reckon we want to get some good, that's your, how you know their attributes. Says it right there. Your default knowledge of the attributes. But I think from here, get determination up. Determination always important, just to show you if there's any new FM players, like how Depth Manager is getting their own way with the board. So it's like that and the players, with what I talked about, like the discipline and motivating. And we will get up the people management. People management, how you interact on players. So those things, we might as well put that on 16 as well. I think some of those tie in together, definitely. Like players bringing their concerns to you and how you interact with players. I think, those two go together. So it's good having that at the same rating, and we'll continue. So once more, on the faces, if I didn't copy over my face pack, I had downloaded, that was made for FM21. There will be no photos there, so it's better than none. Some players, obviously Man United players that were last year, they've been in the old kit. And then the new signings, which is kind of cool because they stand out as new signings, even though we know they are. But it's not. That's actually not the worst thing. Ronaldo's come from Juve, Dortmund, with Sancho, and then Varane from Real. It's kind of introducing them to the new club. In Ronaldo's case, his old club. So there we go. I just reloaded the skin. That's what you do when you're downloading the graphics. And the Premier League, you got the cups and all that. Eyebrows have been raised in the world of football. I think that's a bit offensive. Just because I wanted to create someone that's a bit outstanding, like how he looks, just, for a bit of funny, creating a funny character. But saying all that, you should do a better job than OLE. Get up in the comments if you're OLE in. OLE in or OLE out? And if you're OLE out and FMTV in, and of course, if you're new here, be sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the Football Manager videos, the series, with this one with Manchester United, and I plan on doing a journeyman later in the year, maybe on the full game as well. We'll see how this beta goes. If you remember the FM15 save I did with Manchester United, I actually ended up doing it pretty long, even when the beta was done and the full game. So we'll see how this one goes. We know our players, and yeah, we know the guys that are out on loan. So what I generally do with the filter, I personally just do not at club. Yeah, I always say this as well. If they're not at the club, it's going to be hard for them to play a match. So yeah, I always go with that selection. It's generally meaning if they're out on loan though. In terms of buying and selling, we're going to update that in the second episode. Obviously, there's a long process, the FM season with the pre-season. But yeah, we're just going to take a look at the first few initial days of FM22, like when you join a new team. A big new feature is the data hub. So I want to take a look at this and how this is going to be. We may not actually have a lot yet, not on the first day. So again, maybe this is something we'll track over the first few episodes. Because, yeah, we'll read what it says here from Paul Brown, the head performance analyst. Welcome to the club. The analysis team is hard at work putting together the data hub, which will offer in-depth and customizable analysis of the performance and the team players. So, yeah, they'll be sending reports. Okay. Yeah, they got to get the data for that. So, yeah, we'll leave it for the time being. I generally go over to create my own style, and I do just want to see what is new here. Once more, in terms of tactics, because, it's Football Manager. They've had it pretty much right for a long time. So we're just going to start out with a 4-2-3 wide. In terms of player roles and all that, I think it was the wide centre-back. Yeah, I saw some comments about people saying, oh, they've just added a wide centre-back. But they've really had it covered for years. They've got like so many roles. Can't add any more positions. You know what I mean? They've had it reflected for football tactics pretty well in the last few years. But so we've just built the 4-2-3-1 and just put some settings in. We're going to work as we go. When you do a quick pick, obviously players are still on holiday. So yeah, I just wanted to see it in place. Majority of these players are not going to be starting and not in those respective positions. But yeah, just to get that idea. How we're going to start. Maybe to play some friendlies with and see how the boys are playing. So probably to replace the match preparation. And again, when I download a skin as well, normally they're created where you can have more of these panels showing up. So that will be fine. Anyway, finance and salary. You can see the transfer budget is on 30 mil. But I touched on where I'm pretty happy with United squad depth. There's a few players who might not want there. And the other one is when you go on, I've always liked seeing it as pending transfers and you see your available wage budget like that. But and then you can see any future transfers that are coming in, if they were. Nothing there, of course, for the time being. And any pending offers, both coming in and out. So it shows you what we have to work with if we were going to make a move for someone. And maybe, scouting induction. If you're new to the game, I'd probably take a look and, read what they actually have to say there. Clicking on the scouting, the first thing that pops up is, the recommendation. I actually really like how this is laid out for this. Pretty good. Normally, I ignore them and go after my own deals, but hey, Declan Rice, he would be nice. Declan Rice would be nice. Sign Rice, whatever the price. Bars. FM, that just there, forget what I said, but then sign Rice, whatever the price. But let's see how he's sitting, looking pretty solid, but that's incorrect, in a way. We would need that money, because we only got 30 mil in our balance. If we go to Woodward and the Glazers, I'm like, you told me, sign Rice, whatever the price, or we're going to need in between probably 70 and 85 mil, and then they're going to reject it. So, no, it's not sign Rice, whatever the price. But definitely it's getting him on we'll add him to the short list. You could approach the agent as well, see what the agent has to say. You can talk to Harry, but we're not going to go through this process just here. Look how the manager looks. That's mad. But anyway, for the time being, just add him to the short list. And there's like ticks to complete. All right. This is someone I may have not come across before. He's 21-year-old. There's already a scout summary. Okay. Can we hover over to the scout report? Okay, I'm not minding how everything is looking there. We get a scout report. His potentially Premier League standard. I'm really liking how the design of the profiles, then where the sidebar is. I really like the design this year. Yeah, it's pretty smooth. So you can see his price laid out there. So you get the idea. Okay, he might cost like 10 million. But I don't think he's a Man United signing. If you're a lower team, if you're a mid-table team, newly promoted team, depends on your budget though. But yeah, he could be a guy you're looking for in the future. So very versatile if you look at his positions as well. I like how I go to the attributes section. You can see you can play more positions bigger on this screen. But anyway, that's good. We might do one more. I just want to see who else pops up. Ooh, I've seen him before. I always get turned off when you see that 10 jumping reach. He's only 19 though. I'd add him to the shortlist indefinitely. I normally do indefinitely. It's just a personal preference. And then maybe when I come across them again, if they're no longer relevant, just get rid of them. But again, his price is not too much. And one of my favorites, it's to hover over to Development Center and see the potential candidates. And Scholler, he's one, we got to get excited about. He's one, surely. I'm glad he's got pretty good potential in the game as well, as he should do. Stamina, maybe could be better. Strength and jumping reach, not bad as a winger. I mean, it's not a worry. It's a couple of his lower attributes, like his tackling, marking, and heading, but everything else. These type of players is, they're what's going to get me to want to, play a few seasons or go really deep in this just to see, where we can take United. Because he's probably the star, and then obviously Hannibal as well. He's been around for a few years, and he's still only 18. I felt we've had him for so long in Man United saves, and he's still such a young lad, 18-year-old from Tunisia. Again, for an 18-year-old, pretty solid. The attributes very solid. And Ahmed, there's just a group of boys there. Part of the midfield. A couple of wingers, a midfielder that could be part of the future. And Anthony Elanga, Swedish, incredible pace. I'm going to have to train him really, really well. If we take a look at just the training, it doesn't look like a lot has changed off this. If we go into the general training, there's still the mentoring. It doesn't look like a lot of this has been altered. What do you make of that? I know they can't revamp every single section, so keep that in mind. But I feel like I guess this was improved, a couple of years ago, was it? I would like at least each area to be improved on with a couple extra things, even if they're just little things. But the training section looks a bit copy-paste. I'll be a little bit critical, but maybe asking for too much for each section to have that. And what I just touched on before with scouting a player, something I normally do, I go indefinitely so it's default. When you scout them, they'll be added to the shortlist, which I manually did just before, but that will be automatically. And I always check out my shortlist after a while and say, okay, we don't need interest in him anymore, so we remove. I do that pretty manually myself. That's why I don't say, only for 3 months. There might be a player we scout and could be interest a year later, 2 years later. And you can go really micromanage about it and maybe sort different shortlists, like for defenders, midfielders, forwards, and keepers. And of course, we'll accept the current vision. We got to, they want us to sign. Okay, I like to just look at, develop players, the required stuff there. So play attacking football, sign high reputation. So they generally want a mix. But it seems like that's preferred. Developing players through the youth system, which of course clearly I got excited about. But the expectations in terms of, what you want, what are the goals? Here's Woodward coming to us. Qualify for Champions League. Years in the past, Sir Alex Ferguson days, it was win the title, not just settle for top 4. So, and Champions League reach semi-final. That's going to be a task, but you see that's not even the importance of it is not, it says favoured, but it's the bottom one. You know what I mean? So they're pure OLE expectations, I'll tell you what. And then you got your long-term ones here, which, I like how they added these so it has a long-term project for you in terms of being interested in a save. If you couldn't think of goals yourself, at least, become like the best team in England and then in the world and in Europe. Basically just become the best team in the world. For me, if you're going to be the best team in Europe, you probably are going to be the best team in England. But develop the Premier League's best use system is pretty high as well, desired, but it's already right up there. And also, I went to this, and you could change this, like when you wanted these staff meetings. It went weekly, and I did it fortnightly. You can change it if you go over to preferences at the bottom right. Okay. The good old click to remove the webcam, but yeah, you can choose your frequency of that. Mate, could you put the webcam back on? I'm talking to my imaginary assistant. We'll attend the meeting and see what kind of messages come here. Suitable captain, Ronaldo. I agree. I believe Cristiano Ronaldo would make a better captain than Harry Maguire. Yes, I agree. But I don't usually. I was just thinking about it for a second here. That's me thinking about it. Keeping what's the move in real life. But hey, a quality manager comes in. You got the best player, not just at the club, put 2 and 2 together, the best player, that's not just the best player at the club, but definitely right up there, Cristiano Ronaldo. You make him captain, and important league matches, you don't leave him on the bench, which hurts the result, which has already happened this season. Wan-Bissaka game, if he adapted... See, I don't want to do too many of these yet. I don't want to change, and even Mason Greenwood. Encouraged to sit, no. Let's skip to recruitment. Okay, Alvaro Fernandez, left back. He doesn't look like he's going to be the top of the line, but he's someone we can work on. Okay, we'll keep the eye out, but he'll be wanting a new contract. That's what it was for. But anyway, and then you can just say, remind me in 2 weeks. Or then you choose 2 weeks or a month. And before we had, who was it? We saw Carrick and Fletcher, well, their names anyway, under the coaching. Such a different time. I was managing them back in the day when they were players. Now you can skip to the development, take a look at more. Williams. I don't know about Williams. I don't know about his future. I've always loved his versatility, his value. If you can sell him, get about 30 million. Yeah, looks like there could be better players than him, because that star, that's not good enough for a Man United player. And then, like how we have this set up, like guys on the thumbnail, like this is a rebuild. We're looking to rebuild Man United, but those players are already in place. Like Ronaldo, absolute star. We already talked about him yet. Definitely the best at the club. But Mason Greenwood is the future. So another one we're really excited to see. If we go to the reports, you can see the potential. He's excellent. And that's why he's probably found himself being like an inside forward type. But the future, he's the number 9. And there's no touching that. He's just pacey, can finish. He's going to be a threat for 10 seasons plus for Premier League defences. So then we can skip to the staffing, which I'm not too worried about. But you can take a look. Oh, was hitting. If you're Australian like me, we definitely have affinity with hitting. Oh, that's for sure. He's had a few jobs since. Was it that long ago? Oh, the good old days with Australia. But yeah, he's had an interesting career. But yeah, probably not a Man United move. Maybe in another save for me. I'll take a look. And we'll just go to the meeting summary. And yeah, as I said about Carrick and Fletcher, a few other boys there as well. But yeah, let me know if you like these face packs as well. Keep it in the same style. Previously, I had ones that were just like profile photos, and some of these are like in-game, as you can see, like Carrick's. And some of them are just different anyway. It's a good mix of them. I'll leave the link in the description if you want to download it. See, something like that I'd normally skip. I'm like, oh yeah, we can do all this stuff myself. Don't need those suggestions, but I'd probably do this a bit more regularly now, at least earlier in the game. It's set out really neatly. Yeah, this is where we wanted to go before. When we went to the scouting center, we saw the Declan Rice situation. Wait, OPT. Options? Yes. Oh, Mbappe runs out of contract. Imagine that. I get a scout report on him. I just want to know if he's a good player. Obviously, sarcastically. 20 pace and 20 acceleration. But he's not going to Man United in real life, but imagine making that move. So these are obviously, big, heavy names. The thing is, he's interested. Something I like to do, I like to see which, at the start of a new save. Well, there's a lot of rate. Real Madrid looks like they're targeting getting rid of the older lot. How many? There's even more. There's like Ceballos as well, who I don't think is a bad player. I feel the quality of players listed is increased. I'm not sure if it's just first season. We've got to see as we get deeper. The quality of players where, you're a big club and there's a few guys you would actually consider. Sometimes there's none. But what I would want to see, who's like 27? Umtiti. Yeah, Umtiti, who's still got a lot left. 9.4. That's his transfer value. I say there's some value in that, but I don't. Yeah, I'd stay away from him with his jumping reach. Personally, that's just me. But that's transfer value. If we take that off, I think we're being notified of how much the players are going to be cost. Because if then we go to any, that's boosted so much. That's not individual value. Like if we go to Harry Kane as well, this is just a pure example. Is that, that must be a change. That's the transfer value, how much he's going to cost, which I like. So this is a change. I didn't watch too many of the feature videos and all that. That's what I'm getting at. If I'm wrong, let me know. But there's not just a value anymore. It's just going to be straight how much the player is going to cost. Let me know if I'm right or wrong about it. Because when we went to transfer list, that was switched up, and that's the only one that's showing. There's no asking price or anything like that. Like the transfer value is the asking price. That's why Gareth Bale displays like that. I actually like that because now there's no more guessing. Oh, how much more do we have to offer for his value or above his value? You know what I mean? So let me know what you think about that now. And maybe take a look at the potential Palestri. He could come back looking okay. See how much he grows throughout the season. And he's a standout out of those. Axel at Aston Villa, I'm like, hopefully he gets a good season, but he's probably not going to develop too much more. And Mengi, this is, we're going to decide all these little transfer things. Maybe let me know in the comments, do you think he could use a spell out on loan for the first season? Teden, what's his future look like? He's actually got a bit of potential in him, which is nice to see. It's reflected in game. So we'll see how that goes. And we will go ahead and decide. You can see the team leaders, Cristiano Ronaldo, De Gea, Paul Pogba. Paul Pogba is always like beastly. We'll see how he does in game. Phil Jones is probably someone I'm leaning towards to get rid of. And see, hold up. Transfer value, you got a guide value there. So you can still put an asking price. I was going to say, if you put that lower, okay, and the client would be happy with the asking price. So that's something we'll still experiment with a bit more. Like I was going to say, can you see the value of your own players? If we just go to contract, it's got a transfer value there. And that's the only one you see. Like you have it in brackets for your own guys. There's not one specific number. Just for a few. Like there's Anthony Martial, like I like it. Still we be adjusting to it, but okay, really, really intriguing. So guys, we're going to leave it there. Episode 2, or in between this and episode 2, we'll be playing in the off season. We'll be taking a look at the transfers. I'm not going to make a whole host. Maybe I'll take a look at some young signings, if anything, because I think the first team squad is looking good. Maybe loan out some players. But as you can see, the first team squad is it's pretty big there. I was just going to click on reports. You can see a whole list of players. It's because, they're grayed out. They're only there because, players are out on loan. And then it's going to look a bit better. It's going to look a bit better when it's, when they are out. They're technically players at the club. We have not at club ticked. But sort by potential. Cristiano Ronaldo. That's kind of the same as his ability. But we are going to leave it there for now. If you guys can leave a thumbs up for this, get a comment in. We're going to be making episodes every single day. And I also stream on Twitch. I'll be doing another save over on Twitch. Just, pure Football Manager content this year. Hopefully you're excited for the videos and going deep in this series at Manchester United. It's back, baby. And I'll see you guys next time.